Hello everyone, this is Daniel Kerr, and I am bringing you ESX tutorial. I guess I'm going to call this one 4.5 because it's kind of a continuation of the last one in which I taught you how to stutter a breakbeat. The thing about this method of stuttering a breakbeat, some of you have mentioned a couple of concerns, one of which is if I'm just cranking the start knob, how can I get an exact value? In order to get, to stay in the paradigm of the groove. Well, you can't. The thing about it, though, is that like lots of other things, you practice, and as you practice, you can learn to find the right spots, and you get better and better at it. Now, another thing is you're going to be hearing a little bit of noise in the back because my son is a genius, and he's running around in his walker trying to do different things. He's become very proficient at tearing up the house. Okay, if you take a sample that's longer than one bar, for instance, the last time we had the sample repeating every bar, and at the first 16th note of every at the drop of every bar, we set via entering the values of the motion sequence by hand. We set each one of the start point of the sample at 0, so that every single time it would snap back to 0, 0, 0, 0, all the way through the 8 bars. This time, we're going to be working with a sample that is a lot bigger than 1 bar. We're going to be, what I did is, here's a live set that I have going on right now. And this is an old live sequence that I used to work with. And what I did is I took a sample of this entire sequence by holding shift and record, and I took an entire sample of this. And if we go to samples, I think I saved it at 81, if I remember right. Indeed I did. So, on my pattern, I'm going to go back to pattern A1, the first one in the entire machine, because I have preconditioned this pattern in order to demonstrate what I'm going to show you now. So on pad 7A, which has no sample, I'm going to set that to 81. So that sample is there. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I have it triggering once on the first note of the first bar, once on the first note of the third bar, once on the third note of the 5th bar, and once on the third note of the 7th bar. Now, here's the difference, is that it's not going to repeat. It's not going to start with start point 0, 1, 3, 5, and 7. The first one, the start point, if I go to the first one, is at 0, as you can see. The one at number 3 is at 32. The one at number 5 is at 64. And the one at number 6 is at 96. Now, the benefit of this is that the sample, even though it's triggered 4 times, it's triggered in the right spots that it would be triggered if it was just playing all the way through. So it sounds like it's playing all the way through. Now, the interesting thing about this, about what I've done, is that instead of just setting the motion sequence values for the start point of the sample, I've set the motion sequence values pretty much for everything on the entire machine. I set the motion sequence values for reverse, so that each time, whether the first bar starts, the third bar starts, the 5th bar starts, or the 7th bar starts, the reverse will be turned off. So even if I hit it to reverse, it'll start going backwards, and then it'll snap back to being turned off. The roll is also set to be turned off. The amplitude envelope generator, or amp EG, is set to off, so that even if I have it set to have a tail and it generates the envelope with a long release, it'll still go back to normal. The start point is set to its points, which I explained. The envelope generator time is set all the way up to 128. Each of these 4 spots. The filter cutoff is turned all the way on. The resonance is turned all the way off. The modulation depth is set to 0. and the pan is set to center. The pitch is set back to 0, which is center, right where it's supposed to be. The level is set to 127, which is where I happen to have it. So each time, even if it's playing and I turn it all the way down to the bottom, as soon as either bar 1, bar 3, bar 5, or bar 7 starts, it's going to snap back up to level 127. That way, as the sample plays through, I can mangle the crap out of it, and it will always snap back to its original state in mere moments. Here, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's going. Back to modulation. Back to normal. Filter cut. And back to normal, right? Okay? Alright, let me just show you a little bit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this this little extension of the last tutorial, and I'll have a brand new part 5 coming up soon.